Hey, all you cool cats and kittens out there.
No, Tony.
I saw something that came up in my recommended before I forget that someone pranked her and she thought she was being interviewed by Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, y'all know they doing I guess Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I read that, which I think that's perfect, honestly.
That's gonna be hilarious.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm like,
he fits perfect for that role
because he's crazy. Nicolas Cage is a crazy person, but like he embraces it too.
Did y'all see the the follow-up episodes that they have?
Yeah, I saw that.
Nah, I'm still on like episode 4, man.
Was there more than one? I just saw the one.
They did an after show.
Yeah, I saw the one with when they had the quarantine interviews or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, that's it's funny that all of them have like I guess like somebody who to play them and I guess in the series or whatever, like they all have their own person who they want to play them, which I think is fucking hilarious. Like, god damn,
right?
Like, we're I don't even know like what is next after this. Like, where do we go after that?
A Broadway show.
They better not bring that to Broadway, bro.
I mean, hey, they brought Spider-Man and Shrek to Broadway. I wouldn't put it past them.
No.
Harry Potter too. Harry Potter's on Broadway.
Yeah.
But okay.
There's no like distinguishing medium out there anymore. Like the Golden Globes, like all of that is it's different now. It's like different.
So, that's our intro. That was we got on a tangent.
Let's introduce ourselves before we get to
it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ingenious Visionaries Quarantine Podcast.
Yes, sir.
I'm Jaron, also known as WulfTheRonin. I'm the one with the artsy avatar. I do gaming on YouTube. I do a lot of samurai and ninja stuff on my gaming Let's Play channel. You can check me out at WulfTheRonin.
Yeah. Right. I'm T Stacks. Chubby black guy with the hat on. I just say crazy stuff. I'm the conspiracy nut. You can check me out on Ingenious Visionaries. That's all I am.
I'm a Pred Alien guy, Austin. I'm trying to make movies. That's about it.
What's up, folks? It's your boy Everett, aka E. You can catch me on IG. Too easy EAZY _E. I got a lot of fitness content and working on music stuff and got some other stuff cooking. So stay tuned.
All right, so with the intros out of the way, I guess we can get started. We could probably continue what we were talking about. Just get that intro out of the way.
So you doing music, bro? What you doing?
Oh, I got some playlists, bro. I'm playlists. Okay. Yeah, just workout playlists. I'm not producing beats in that, bro. I'm just putting stuff together, bro.
Let me ask you, because I'm gonna sound very not in the now. So that's a new thing that people do now. You will subscribe to your playlist. Is that something that's gonna eventually be monetized?
No. It's not monetized.
It would be really hard to monetize something like that.
Let me not say it like that, because that sounds very shiesty. Monetization. Can you be sponsored from a certain company or Spotify or this or that? You know what I'm saying?
No, well, I mean that's a high ceiling. I mean, possibly.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that done, but I see a lot of times like with these playlists, depending on like who's tuning in the most to like whatever playlist, they would feature that playlist on like. See, I have Apple Music, so I don't have Spotify titles. I don't know how they work necessarily, but with Apple Music, like once if you got a playlist and if it's buzzing, you know, then a lot of times like the creators will put like feature your playlist for like workout, like they got different categories, you know what I'm saying, fitness
Right.
and other things, man. So I'm looking at other fitness playlists and I'm seeing what they put and comparing it to mine, and I'm like, okay,
would you be able to
I can
like,
compete with that, you know.
your name attached to that playlist or something? Do you get some type? I'm saying, do you get some type of recognition for, hey, you? That's a form of
Well,
producing.
bro, it's mainly self promotion. That's why and I'm glad we're talking about it because I have to actually like add a link that way everybody can look at it on YouTube. I'm having problems, well, not on YouTube, but on Snapchat. For some reason, people are telling me that they're not seeing the link, but I'm seeing the link when I'm on Snapchat, but it's not showing on their end. So I got to figure out what's going on with that. And the thing with IG, and I didn't notice, but you can't actually attach like playlists or whatever unless you have a verified account, or if you have
That doesn't surprise me.
10,000 followers or something like that. I didn't even know that, bro, until I started.
Really? You need to have a follower limit?
Bro, they either want you to be a verified account or they want you to have 10,000 followers, bro.
That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
What does it mean by verified account? Like you go on
that blue check, that blue check, bro.
It's basically like you're a public figure.
Yeah. YouTube does kind of the exact same thing, and YouTube is really bad about it. You can't play actual licensed music on your videos, otherwise you're getting a copyright strike.
How would you become a verified account? Only if you hit 10,000 subscribers?
It's not really a follower thing.
It's like if the company gives you permission.
Yeah, you can. I guess it's either or. So you guess for that situation you can get 10,000 or be verified. And to be verified, it's usually just kind of like it's just so like if there's people out there that could be impersonating you, if there's a fan account out, essentially, if you're that popular that people want to make sure this is your account, it's coming from.
Well, what I'm saying is, let me rephrase the question. Is that process different from like Discord right now and asking me to verify my account? Is that the same process or just
No, not necessarily. I think you reach out and then they just kind of decide like, okay, yeah.
So it's more of a gatekeeping type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The market is closing. It's closing in on us, guys.
Yep.
Which is really it's really unfair. Like, I should have, because I mean this is a free Instagram. Last time I checked, it's free to have. Why do you need to be able to attach something and put it on your story? Why do I have to have either one of those verified accounts, 10,000 followers?
Exactly.
And all I'm doing is sharing a playlist. You can't attach, like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't understand the logic.
Yeah, it seems like Instagram's becoming more and more like YouTube, which is bad because YouTube has this really broken system where if it's got a registered music in there, you're getting a copyright claim, not a strike, but a claim, which pretty much means the creator doesn't get monetized, but the music company will get the money instead.
Monetize it at that. I mean,
and no, it's gotten to the point where I don't know. I haven't checked the recent Battlefront video that Austin and I did, but I guarantee you that got copyright claim because it's got Star Wars music in it.
Now, so would you be able to delete that video and then that dude?
Well, it's frustrating because what I would need to do is I would need to take the video down, delete go back into editing and delete the music that is in there, and then re-upload it.
Yeah, gotcha.
But that's a process.
They would keep that video even though you deleted it. But
the problem is deleting the video means I'm deleting the views on it and the comments and everything that's already there.
And the links, the data for it.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, and I've been thinking this a lot, and I've been trying to. So I used to say this thing in the theme park a lot, and now because I'm like now, like it's kind of almost there now. I used to people come to the parks and they complain, okay, oh, it's $100 to do this, a hot dog is this, and a hot dog is this, and I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, and I used to tell people like, yeah, eventually it's gonna go to a point where only the VIP type people will be able to afford to come to these things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
this is the first. This is the first filter for that. Quarantine. The quarantine is the first filter for that. This is the
Yep.
first filter. Now, well, the action. This is actually not the first filter. The first filter is like credit and logistics. All of those are filters in order to get to a theme park. And now you're gonna have another filter of. I wouldn't be surprised if they stop taking cash. That's gonna be another filter.
Yep.
Now you're gonna have to have some type of credit system or banking system, and then with the vaccine shit, you don't even know. We don't even know what's gonna come for that.
Yeah.
They might have it where you have to be vaccinated in order to get into the theme park. And how are you gonna show proof of your vaccination? And you know what I'm saying? And then it come to a point where you can only have a certain insurance that does this vaccination, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think, and see, I've been listening to CNN, and they're saying like, the vaccination, and you can't rush that process. Like, they might actually not have anything really available for the masses until like next year,
That doesn't
Exactly.
surprise me.
or like late this year, early next year, something like that. But it's a process, so
Yeah, it's not
that's
exactly
gonna take forever.
It's
But
not going to be
mentioning-
a snap of
I'm
the finger
glad-
and everything's coming back.
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought that up, Tony, because I was reading something today where, like with Universal, and they're losing, like they lost like not Universal, Disney, they lost like $1.4 billion
Yeesh.
in April. They lost that much in April, and they're saying that they're gonna they're thinking of like possible solutions as far as getting people back into the park. So one solution was having like a virtual queuing. So what would happen is, well, at first, y'all know more than likely they're not going to open up at full capacity. It's probably gonna be like 50% out the gate. So, and then after that, they were saying as far as the virtual queuing, I guess you have the app, you pick what ride you want to be on, you got to go at that particular time, and which actually could be a little easier. That way, you don't have to stand in line as long.
Well, that's
In a way.
that's what Volcano Bay does, with their Tapu Tapus. That's what they do. You get to the attraction, tap in.
Yeah.
It gives you a time, and then you go do whatever you want, eat, go to the wave pool, do whatever you want to do, and then when it buzzes, it's time to go back to the ride. And I think you have like a 20 to 30-minute window to get back over there.
Yeah, so those are and then you can't have a ride queue like think about when Spider-Man extended queue is packed. When it's packed all the way in the back, like a 90-minute wait.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How much virtual queue can you have for that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a limit to that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's they're gonna have to. It's gonna change. They're gonna have to really think about the logistics. It's gonna change. I think the operation of theme parks is gonna change. It's gonna be interesting to see if I don't know if they have to like refurbish the line.
I'm sorry.
Like that.
Excuse me.
But I think it's gonna be like they were saying. Like there's gonna be. I think it's gonna be much more of a intimate experience for the first couple
What I'm saying, yeah.
years or months.
It's gonna be a very, you know what I'm saying? Man.
Intimate, but just not as with even that so much as saying like you'll be even interacting close with the other employees or other guests. There's not that many people in the park.
You're gonna be interacting with a lot of employees.
You and your own family, you'll just be kind of
exactly
spaced out.
I got a doctor's appointment for on Monday. We're gonna be the only fucking people in the office.
Yeah.
I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and they told me you need to come in with a mask. And even my dermatologist called me today. He's like, when you come in tomorrow, make sure you bring a mask.
Even though a mask doesn't really, if you had it and you went there with a mask, they have it. But what did the mask do?
Yeah.
It gave them a nice little
Literally.
psychological.
Yeah. No, honestly, it felt
discomfort.
super uncomfortable too because I just kept breathing into it, and I was there for about 2 hours, and it was not only was it fogging up the equipment to like the lenses for me to look through at the eye doctor yesterday, but like I was sweating, my face was all sweaty, and I'm like, Jesus, I can't breathe in this thing.
uh,
You couldn't even cough.
Huh?
You do no clearing of no throat. You can't do none of that shit.
I had to fight back some sneezes because I didn't want the social judging of you sneeze.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I wonder how that'll affect, like, because I feel like they're gonna require people to wear masks, if when they open a theme park. But I wonder how
Hey,
that'll affect
look,
how many people will go. Cause it'll
Asia
be
has
just
been
uncomfortable.
prepping for this for ages. If you go to Japan pre-corona, you always see people with a mask.
I guess you're right on that. We're just being conspiracy. It's fun to dwell in the conspiracy.
new norm.
Look, I hate that shit when they say that. Oh, this is the norm. Like y'all motherfuckers, what that shit?
So quick.
The new norm, cuz. Hey, but
Meanwhile, Japan's over here like new norm. Bitches, we've been doing this.
yeah, no, that's the thing about it though too. Yeah, they always every time you seen think about the last 5 years, every time you see anything with any Asian countries, you see masks. South Korea, you see masks.
Yep.
Taiwan, you see masks. I'm saying.
Even when I was over there, when I visited in 20, oh god, I want to say 2015. Oh my god, that was 5 years ago. I bought a mask. I mean, mainly because it was cold outside. I didn't have anything to protect my face, so that was the main reason I got a mask. But they're cheap too. They have them in huge stock.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, I was gonna say, I saw a meme on IG the other day. It was from the Office show, but it was like I guess they were trying to make the comparison of COVID.
Yeah,
I don't know. They was like, okay, this dude is USA, this other guy's China, the other guy's WHO. I don't know if y'all seen that.
No, I
But it's
haven't.
it's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, I seen that one.
You know what I'm talking about?
I seen one with the fucking Hornets. What the new Hornets? I guess they talking about.
Yeah, bro.
It's too crazy. It's crazy.
Damn Hornets. They just trying to strike fear in this, man.
Yeah, it's just something. Man, just trying another distraction.
Yeah, another distraction.
Speaking of distractions, do you guys want to get into our first topic or whatever? Does someone want to start with their whatever they brought to the table?
Who wants to start?
Oh, before we do that, welcome back to the show, you guys. All right, now let's go. Now we had intermission.
There we go, intermission.
Yeah, nice little... Who wants to go first?
Somebody go first.
I'm trying to remember what I thought about. I thought of something earlier. I lost it. Give me a second. I'm gonna think of it.
All right, I go first. Write it down.
What am I giving y'all a question? Can I give y'all a question? It's a question it's a question that I put in the You tell anybody about this project, this secret project we got going on, Austin?
No, I was gonna bring it up today, or during the call, or at some point.
So I ask this question, and then we'll just make it 360 all around when you do yours. What's one big collective cultural shift that happened over the past decade?
Over the past decade?
The past decade. Should be pretty easy. Cell phones is one. Cell phones is a major one. Cell phones and social media.
Just like the instant the access to the internet anywhere.
Yes.
Virtually anywhere.
And so I think
I have an unorthodox answer for you, Tony. And Austin, you might want to jump on this too. In the movie theater business, because I was reading up on the drama that's going on between Universal and AMC, and apparently, by releasing Trolls to home video early, it made so much money that Universal doesn't even need to release it to theaters when theaters open back
Whoa.
up.
But
And people are saying, well, this is going to be the end of the movie theater business. If people are seeing that this makes money, they're going to continuously release it to home video, and people are going to keep buying. Now, I don't think it's going to be the end of the movie theater business.
nah, I don't think
because there's an atmosphere to that, and people still enjoy doing something like that. But it's crazy to think that it's possible that people could just release it to home video and just ignore the theaters.
I think the machine was so well oiled in the 90s. I mean, this is just like transitioning from horses to cars, bro. Ain't too many people really was trying to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? I gotta go put gas in this bitch and there's no roads. Like I have a horse, horse, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
My horse, he goes.
Exactly.
He doesn't break down most of the
Doesn't
time.
break down.
I know him. You know, I gotta
low maintenance.
with it. Yeah.
You know
Extreme low maintenance.
Yeah,
Nah, but
yeah, it'll take time. But then people still ride horses, you know, for fun. So
yeah, that's
Exactly.
true. Which is why I think back to a couple episodes ago, Austin, we need to keep those drive-in theaters open. For when those big chains go out, we can still have the experience to go to one of those drive-ins.
they're having a nice little resurgence. The ones that are still open, it's kind of
I just watched a documentary about a
second coming.
I think what's gonna happen is that they're just gonna start to. I mean, we're starting to bulge a little bit. Nah, let me not say that. Just everything's gonna start to eventually plateau. We're gonna have to fill that plateau in order to kind of build up again.
Right.
I think once we hit that level, then we're gonna be calling out. We're gonna be in space, like fucking Ad Astra, and you going flying to the moon base, and you can get a hot towel for $120. Yeah, the bottle of water for $100. I think that's what probably is gonna happen. Because I try to like go through my mind about that. Like what's next, bro? They released a documentary about a show, about people, real people.
Uh-huh.
It caught fire on the internet. Social bubbling. People created memes and created other forms of that show, I guess you could say. Now they're gonna release a whole.
I read an article. I'm assuming like you're talking about Tiger King. That they're already planning some spin-off docuseries. And I'm like, how?
Really?
Yeah.
What?
You know, people like to milk things.
Bro, people really liked it. And it's kind of scary now. Because now I'm thinking like, we're going to be, you know, they say we project our own Everett. Like, you know, when you think it'll happen, it's like how close do we want for that thought transition into, you know what I'm saying? You can do that for your person. Like, I want to reach and grab this cup, so I reach and grab the cup. You know, that's damn near instantaneous. It's like, okay, I want to make a movie about robots that land on Earth. Like, how close you make that real? You feel what I'm saying? Like, how fast do you make that real, and what's the time? Like, is that time is gonna gauge smaller? It's a hard concept.
No, I feel like I feel it. I feel like an easy way to even just say that it's. I feel like it's shrinking, but like I feel like something like that, like you could do it right now. In like if you want to take some time, you could do it semi quality with something, you know, semi cheap on your computer. If you want to take the time, it might take you 3 years, and then it might only be like 3 minutes long, but. You know, I feel like the technology is out there for you just to do that on your own if you really wanted to. You could bring something to fruition, or even just draw it on your paper, you know, or a flash animation kind of thing. It's so available to you.
It's definitely going to get us come very, very different. Because I think that's going to be the next wave of innovation. How fast can you get your thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
How fast can your thoughts become real life?
Mm.
I have a design of a. If I have a beat right now, I can literally get on my computer right now and create that beat. Versus 50 years ago, I would have had to go get a studio, get all the equipment, the people there, take the music out.
Well, that's
Order.
like the cool thing.
You know what they're gonna do? You know what they're gonna do, man? They're gonna put chips in everybody's brains. They're gonna start inserting.
Don't say
chips,
that.
bro.
I will be the crazy old man with the
that's
shotgun
okay.
and be like, you ain't putting no chip in my brain.
And they're gonna
I'm sure
find
it'll be
some way,
optional.
and
It'll be
they're gonna
optional.
and look, that's gonna be the iCloud.
South Park did a joke about that where they had a chip in your brain to post to social media called shitter because all those chip posters.
I mean, I think there will become a point if it, when it does happen that, like, there'll be people like you, like, it'll be an option. So, like, some people won't do it initially, but I think there'll be a point where everyone will have it. So, like, not everyone has a horse or had a car when they first started out, but eventually, it's the only thing you can use. Right? You can't use a horse on the road. It's not compatible anymore.
Main thing, that shit is. I don't know if I'm gonna be participating now.
No, I think I'll opt out of the first couple of waves.
I was even skeptical when they were like announcing VR. I'm like, that's putting something on my head. I don't trust that.
Even look at these VR shows, like I got Amazon Prime now, and like there's so many like upload, like the show name Upload. I just watched that one. I'm like, wow, that's okay, whatever. And then they have another show called The Feed. It's like all of these type of virtual realities. You live your life inside of this type of. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit is kind of coming back. I see it everywhere now. Everywhere where you live in the, or you're living in the computer, or you live in the cloud.
Right.
Upload your soul.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept.
All right, next question.
Hold on. But I didn't even, bro. I would think. Let me answer. I don't even think I answered. So, in the last 10 years, I mean, that's stuff. I guess we kind of already touched based on like consumption, how we consume media. So I would, I'm just gonna say music, bro. Right now, just coming off the top, it would have to be music. I feel like, the way we listen to music now, the audience changed. I mean, across the board. I'm focusing mainly on like hip hop and like R&B and pop and that, but I think during the time, like especially right now, like artists have to be more conscious on how they move. But like in the last 10 years, I would have to say music, just the way it just the delivery, like just how it's made from scratch, bro. Like it's just different, bro. And then the way we consume it,
I think everything
it's a whole lot of mumbling now. So it's hard to find the real authentic ones out of just it's so many out there. You gotta find one and just find similar artists.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that, with the delivery system is you can dig deeper and you find all these other artists that you have access to so instantly. You can just find them just like that.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point I can't really speak for like the pop and the hip hop scene, but like as a consumer, like I consume a lot of metal. I'm a metalhead. And when I watch music videos or listen to the music I listen to, I notice, at least in the metal scene, a lot of it's very collaborative between different artists. And because I grew up thinking, like, if you're getting in the entertainment industry, you're going to have to compete with everyone, which is true to a point. But it also kind of seems that, like, there's a lot more collaboration between different artists than there is competition.
I think everything is just getting molded together. Everything is becoming a kaleidoscope.
It's so easy, to to be able to share, a verse or a segment of a piece of music, together. It's so easy to collaborate. I think that
Right.
that lends itself to that for sure.
I think the medium in the middle, is so easy to do that with now. Versus like everything is digital, so
Everything.
you can get a rock guitar that sounds just like how it's gonna sound on stage, inside of an R&B studio with an R&B artist or whatever.
Right, and like, what's insane is like it's so simple to collaborate with different artists these days.
Yeah.
Because
You don't even have to be together.
Exactly, you don't even need to be in the same studio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of the bands I listened to, they reached out to one of my favorite bands, Sabaton, and they're from Sweden, and the other band's from Japan. They just reached out like, we need you to make some noises, and he just did the same line over and over again and sent it to them, and then they just put it in the background while they did their actual music.
That's I mean,
and I'm like, if it works, it works.
if it works, it freaking works, man.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Crazy.
Okay, so I remembered my question.
All right.
I actually just thought about this morning as I was uploading one of my recent videos. Hype. Can it ruin an experience? Whether it be games, books, music, film, like overhyping something.
An event.
Is like should like companies be limiting how much they hype up their product? Because I was thinking about that this morning because I just uploaded a thing with Last of Us Part 2. And I'm not on the same hype boat as everyone else is with Last of Us Part 2. I think it'll be a good game, but I'm not eating up all that hype.
Right.
Because one thing I just don't want happening is these guys have been working on this game like forever. And I don't want the expectations and the hype to like kill the game before it's even released.
I think as an adult, you start to acquire. I don't want to say better taste, but it just your mind is just a little bit. It just starts to get different. Now, granted, it is a time and a space for hype. Being into what's new coming out and you getting that thing that's new. Because as a person who, for me, I've always kind of, I felt that I was so cool. Well, this is my stick. So other people are so cool because they always have the newest things.
Right.
Everybody follow behind that. I thought I was so cool because I never cared about it. I was still cool. I was always trying to say that cool dude who didn't have the new Jordans, all the new shit. I didn't never have any of that shit. But I was always cool. I was still cool. Whatever. As you get older, man, you start to be a little bit different. It's just a little bit different. Right. You don't really
even
look for other things.
Even when Avengers Endgame was coming out, when I saw it, very unpopular opinion incoming, I thought it was okay at best. I thought there was no reason it needed to be 3 hours. It was just another Marvel movie. It was a good Marvel movie, but everyone was like hyping it up, being this is the best thing to ever happen since breathing. And I'm like, and it's when people start saying stuff like that, and it's like, guys, it's a movie. This is not better than breathing. Trust me.
I mean, there are people. I mean, people exaggerate. I mean, I feel like, well, personally, I mean, I wouldn't go crazy over. I mean, I thought it was 3 hours, sure. I mean, it's kind of long, but I think for what it was a nice ending and wrap up of kind of a nice, very long story over these movies that hadn't been done before.
Right.
But I mean, I think as a movie itself, sure, it's not Citizen Kane or anything, or not, like something worth, an Oscar or I mean, people have had their decent performances, but it's nothing like
It's not
I don't know.
groundbreaking.
It's not the highest form of art. It's definitely art, but it's pop art. It's it's definitely pop for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but if
I
I can say
understand.
something on hype, just I think there might be a difference between someone when people in like fans get out of control with hyping themselves and people around them up versus maybe even something like uh or if a company can do something similar to that like that, because I know, or if they promise something and get people excited for something that doesn't
Yeah,
exactly
exactly. Yeah.
promise more
Right.
than they think, something like with
Well, like
a
one
video
thing
game or
that I saw this pretty frequently over the past couple years is I like to look at the example of Watch Dogs. Um, do we all know what Watch Dogs is? The video game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
It
The
was super
very first Watch Dogs, when it revealed its E3 footage. Now, granted, part of this is Ubisoft's fault, where they showed stuff that wasn't going to be in the game. But another thing everyone needs to be taking a grain of salt with is its E3 footage. This is beta footage, alpha footage. What you see is not final, and it may
Right.
not end up in the game. And I think people have been doing a better job with that these days. But past couple years, it's been bad. Even with Spider-Man, they showed like this little puddle, and people were complaining that the puddle wasn't in the game, and they're like, "We're not buying this."
that's a
Yeah.
little ridiculous. I think
Because of a puddle?
Yes.
when it comes to graphics, that's something you can't really complain about. I think
Right.
if you hype up as a company gameplay elements or
play
uh,
footage.
and just like things that you like, yeah, just things that not like necessarily how it's gonna look or just things, yeah, just how it's gonna play, and then it doesn't come out, or even if you promise things even up to a release, I don't know, with like No Man's Sky, I know like they said something about be able to be online or like be in the galaxy and not meet other players, but then they kind of came out and said, well, actually, you won't actually be in, and you can meet up if you want to, but like
Yeah.
you're not going to exist. They weren't clear on how everything worked because the concept was kind of weird anyway, just to have this infinite planetary system where you can go, and people were like, oh, and then people complained about like the graphics and like how planets are similar. It's like, well, I mean, what do you expect? It's like a huge
It's
So he's
it's an
like,
indie developer taking on a procedurally
I
generated
think
universe.
people, and I think it's a combination of them saying some things and then people running with it and getting
Yeah.
overhyped, and then
Yeah.
and I think that's a lesson that people learn over time, just kind of trying to temper expectations. And I think, yeah, as Tony was saying, you kind of learn as you get older. You're like, not everything that is promised is always going to be
Yeah, because
received.
one thing I've not been understanding is everyone is getting super hyped over Last of Us Part 2, but call me opinionated or biased, but all the footage I've seen, I have not been pushed to go buy it immediately. And
Story on that one is what. And the story is like the most intricate part of The Last of Us. That's what I thought it was. I thought the story was like really really good. I didn't think it was gameplay.
Yeah,
well,
I think
I liked
if
the
anything,
first game. I thought it was an interesting story enough, but I'm gonna be honest. After watching this story trailer for the sequel, I got a very AMC Walking Dead vibe out of it.
I read an article about that too. That was like how it's more brutal on this one. But they were saying something like it's a story element of it.
Right, and
I guess
that's the
it's
crazy
art.
thing too. Is like I'm all for heavily story driven games. I just wasn't feeling it with this one. I'll still buy
yeah, I
it.
haven't seen enough. I'm just interested to see where they go with it. I love Naughty Dog. You know, they've never
Right.
steered me wrong so
I
far.
will still
So.
play it. I'm just not as excited as everyone else is. And
Yeah,
that's one of my fears is I think people are getting so excited over it. Like, what if it doesn't meet their expectations? They're going to review bomb it. But
that's a weird toxic thing that happens.
And then but then some of the people like me who maybe weren't expecting so much end up playing it like, this was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then that becomes the unpopular opinion. I felt the exact same way with the Order 1886. Everyone hates that game. I like it. it it was short, but the story was interesting. The technology was good, and I want to see where it goes from there. But it's probably never going to happen because everyone hated it because they had their expectations so high.
Was it a full price game?
Yeah, so I understand why they got burned.
I think people have. I think there's certain levels of expectation, and not necessarily that it's warranted, or if I don't know how. You know, the pricing of games are kind of interesting because especially with console games, they all seem to be a flat rate, whether like it's a AAA title, unless you're buying something from a super indie thing on like
Right.
on the digital stores. But I think if you're for paying certain prices for video games and certain things, I think people expect a length, but I think they need to, I don't know, also maybe not buy the game as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if that's if that's something that can be if that's something that, because like movies have run times but like listed on there. I don't know if games should have like estimated playtime kind of thing.
That would be interesting, actually, to implement something like that.
If like that could be part of the rating, or not rating, but just kind of like call like I feel like that could also have help, because I can understand why, like if it's like because how long, what's the average play through that game anyway?
What,
Like how
Order?
many hours? Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah, like $60 for like a movie.
Yeah.
Like I paid that so I could play through. Like I mean, I'm sure there was gameplay, but like that's like
No, yeah, it was
playing through a
gameplay.
movie.
It was I was
But like,
no mixed gameplay mixed with cutscenes was 3 hours.
but like, I feel like I'm playing Uncharted and I'm like, man, these games are so long. I forget like I'm on chapter 20 what now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how many? But like and it's I feel like it can get repetitive, but like something like that's kind of for $60 you can pay. You're not getting, because you pay like $20 at most for like a movie at home that's 2.5 hours.
Right.
So even if you are playing it and you're like there's graphics and it's like made by a big studio, it's just like
Yeah, well,
It's all.
I don't know. The other thing
Go
that's
ahead.
also going around too is like the fear with the hype and Naughty Dog is with those leaks, people. I'm not gonna say anything about the leaks, but like when people saw the leaks, they got super disappointed. Actually, hang on. Before I continue, minor spoiler, I guess. I don't know if I can even consider it spoiler, but I'm not going into details. But I am talking about Last of Us leaks real quick, so if you guys don't want to hear that, skip.
As long as you're not giving up no details.
No, I'm not giving any
I'm good,
juicy
man.
details.
Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
this is for the viewers. But the leaks, it's gotten to the point where like the people who have seen them are very disappointed in where the story is going, that they're boycotting it and they're not going to buy the game. And that kind of comes back to my question is, why should we let hype dictate our enjoyability of a game?
I feel like that's really dumb. It's like, what is that gonna accomplish? As far as like, we boycott to like try to get something changed.
Right.
The game's at this point,
Right.
as far as the story is done, and like that's not. I think they've gotten so far. That's not that you're not gonna Sonic this one and like get them to change it because you promised not to buy the game.
Yeah.
Just like, that's unreasonable. Like if you feel that way, like you don't like maybe at this point, whatever you've heard, you don't like the story. Wait till the actual game's out. See how you like it, how it plays.
Exactly.
Or even if they find out what the story is through reviews. I don't know. Like let other people play through it, and then you don't have no one's like, I guess people have to buy it on the first day for whatever reason and feel like that's I mean, I can see for the companies, they like to see those early numbers, but like they also like to see people buying it over time. Word
Right.
of mouth is like a good
Yeah.
thing. So I feel like just like chill out. That's a dumb concept. I don't
And
understand
it applies to movies too. Like there were people boycotting Star Wars when the sequels came out.
Yeah, just like keep it to yourself. You don't want to see it, then don't see it. Don't cry baby about it.
I just feel like there's a lot of like hype and excitement that dictates how we feel about movies and
I think
entertainment.
it's interesting because I feel like there's things where like I want to say like Sonic was justified, like that was kind of a worthy cause because the end of the day it might affect it. Because like I don't know, that seems like something that is a drastic alteration of something a represent. But I don't know. At the same time, it's like I don't know. It's not. It's like you don't have any. You're not getting any pay for this, so why should you say it any time? Waste your time like
Right.
complaining and getting all bent out of shape because it's not the way you like it.
Yeah.
Or
And
you
I mean,
expect it.
I'm gonna be real honest, and I'm just gonna throw all the unpopular opinions out there. We already touched on. I'm not excited for Last of Us. I thought Avengers Endgame wasn't the best, and now I'm gonna say I actually thought Red Dead Redemption 2 was a bit overrated. I'm gonna get all the hate.
No, I'll tell you that it was like it's a fun game, but it's not the like
Right.
they
Like,
didn't innovate.
Don't get me wrong. I actually love Red Dead Redemption 2. But I have a love-hate relationship with Rockstar Games because they make great games. Rockstar, they're really good at what they do. But part of what makes them successful is their fan base because they have a fan base that will buy anything they release.
For sure.
And
I didn't buy that. And I like Rockstar.
well, Tony, no offense, Tony, but I don't think your voice gets to the entire fan base of Rockstar Games. But like, what I mean by that is like when Rockstar releases a game, you know there's already going to be a huge line for a midnight release, and people will find no flaws with it, and they'll just be like, "Oh, this is a perfect game. There's no flaws. Everyone who says otherwise is wrong." And it's that kind of mentality and hype that I don't like because it's like there can be a perfect game and still have flaws.
I think they're getting a lot of, especially over the last 10 years too. And let's see. This shit is fire because we can go back into that first question that I asked. I think over the last 10 years, bro, everything has been. I think with all markets has been just growing. Like the more people we have on Earth, just the more markets grow, and then the better internet connectivity that everybody has, and there's more people now. That's can have things that's more available to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think this is back to what I was talking about, like plateaus. When we hit a plateau, so I believe we're building on top of a plateau right now. That's why we got Starlink right now. We got Elon Musk building these rocket ships, and we got better digital infrastructure coming, 5G, all of that shit. Like we're building right now in order to, to kind of have a good foundation for that next upper echelon or whatever the fuck we're gonna be doing. Flying cars or there's gonna need to be integrated sensors and drivable cars by themselves. Everything's gonna need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like there's gonna need to be processing power everywhere, even on the street now, not just in. We hold all our processors in buildings. Now we're gonna need to kind of having, individual, like having a Google base everywhere.
Right.
Like, there's a Google service center or whatever, but having like multiple Google service centers or having it more, having the connecting between services way more easier or efficient or affordable or whatever the likes may be. So I think that's what we at right now. We're in that plateau where we need to go. We're going higher. We're about to go higher.
Right.
I don't know if that dealt with the question that you were saying.
No. It kind of did. I got a little lost, but that's just my really big no.
No, I'm not gonna lie. It took a tangent there. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I took a little tangent on that.
How did this relate? I was like, oh yeah, Elon Musk, yeah, okay, yeah. Then I'm not gonna. But
What is the let me go ahead and answer this for Jaron from my view. So I know Jaron's a gamer. So I think with just going back to your question with the overhype,
Mhm.
I do think that a lot of games are overhyped because they put a lot of promotion, a lot of money into running this stuff. So that's one, and then it's just the fact that people are so anxious, bro. People want stuff now. They don't want to wait. So I think with people, they just need to like do more research, like you were saying. Make sure that you know this this is something that this is something that you really want to play. Like if you do play, like if you do buy it and play it and you don't like it, like don't spread all this negativity about a game. And like Rockstar, I think Rockstar is great. I mean, I got Grand Theft Auto. They coming out with another Grand Theft Auto, I think this year later on, and I'm fine with it. I just think, if you can't afford a game, don't get it right then and there. Don't even if you're a gamer and if you buy it, everybody's entitled to their opinion,
Right.
but don't have like don't be petty.
Well, and
Don't
to
like
kind of
actually
elaborate on that.
give people a chance. Cause the last thing you want is for a game to come out today, the a guy gets it today, and then he already has a blog or review about it, talking about all this negativity. But you're seeing something different when you watch it on YouTube. They might have
Yeah, it might be a different.
just a glimpse of what the game is like. So it's just like don't be too quick to let everybody know your opinion. Especially if you just if you just got the game when it first came out.
Right.
Now, if it's been out for a couple weeks or so, maybe a month or two, then maybe try to have conversation. What do y'all think about the game? Because everybody should have, at least the gamers who are really into that game, they should be knowledgeable about the game and then have conversation. I think conversations happen too quick, which leads to a lot of turmoil. So
Right.
if people can get that clear, people just have to know what they like, and then let people have that experience. Let other people have that experience. Why? I don't understand why people feel a need to write an essay about something. It's. I guess now, I mean, people are so bored, but I'm saying like it's like for me, I just don't understand how you could do that. Like I could never see myself playing the game and then okay, let me write a blog and tell these people and then it's all negative. It's not giving any type of positive message. So
I was just gonna elaborate on that. Like, it's one thing to give constructive feedback on the game. What works, what doesn't work, and what can be done to make it better. And then there's a difference between that and just going out, making a video or an essay or whatever, and just saying this game is fucking garbage. This fucking sucks, and just not elaborating on why it sucks or
right.
what can be done to fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So just
and I
Well,
think
Jeremy-
that's
so quick to downplay a game or a movie, whatever. Like it's like just relax for a moment.
right.
Let people get their experience, see what they think. Because just because you think this is whack, I might think it's great.
Exactly.
That's why when people tell me, "Oh yeah, that movie whack," well, I'm probably gonna see it anyway just to see how.
I was having this
because a lot of
interesting-
people, because not to go off on a tangent or anything, but a lot of people are saying that Superman and Batman was whack.
Yeah. I actually liked it that bit.
I actually like that. I actually like the movie, bro.
But you know what? I went in just looking for action, and it had a lot of action.
And you know what? As far as that movie's concerned, it nailed the action. In my opinion, that movie definitely nailed the action.
Definitely,
Because Zack Snyder is good at doing that.
I think that's what, like he was saying though. Sometimes carry too much negativity, but then it's
I mean, just look at what happened with the Star Wars sequel
It's like
trilogy.
it's all art. So like
Yeah,
it's
that's
all
the
objectives,
thing.
right? So it's
Like,
just
Exactly. It's
bringing
all
the
objective.
Star Wars sequels up again.
at the end of the day, I don't
The
think it's so.
directors and producers listened to all the negative feedback, and not it wasn't even feedback, just negative complaints that the internet had, and they made the final movie based around those complaints. And then when it actually came out, no one was happy.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Like the recent one that just came out.
Yeah, the most recent one, they were trying to make it perfect, so they listened to every negative complaint and every complaint that the movie received, and they tried to fix it around that instead of making the movie that they wanted to make.
I think the biggest issue or the biggest difference between anything made by Disney related to Star Wars is just the fact that George Lucas wasn't involved, and it was just kind of made with a whole team of people instead of coming from one singular vision. At least like the story aspect of it.
Yeah.
They kind of like they had an idea, but everyone kind of didn't go through one person or maybe a central group of people.
You know what?
A
This is gonna be a weird
which isn't
analogy.
great for
You know what it reminds me of?
that
It
kind of
reminds
thing.
me of the development of Anthem. Do we all know about the drama that happened with that?
No.
So
Not necessarily.
Anthem was a game being made by EA and BioWare. BioWare made Mass Effect and Star Wars: The Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, really good RPGs. And when they debuted it at E3 to let people know what it was, the developers were just knowing what they were making. Like, they were behind stage being like, oh, this is the game we're making. Okay.
Huh.
And so, like, the development of, like, the last 3 Star Wars films reminds me of kind of what happened with Anthem, where there was no clear vision. They were just making a game with nothing to go off of.
Dangerous.
Which is why Anthem, unfortunately, got flopped.
And now it's free on Xbox Game Pass or something now.
Well, they're trying to revamp it now. But
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, the psychology of hype.
yeah, it really is something I actually do want to explore a little more, because I feel like hype it's a double-edged sword. Because yes, it's good to get excited, just to kind of like bring this to conclusion. It's good to get excited over something, but
Marketing is all about hype.
Exactly. Just don't let it control your actions and your opinions.
Exactly.
Just be a little self-aware sometimes.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna take this flip with Ghost of Tsushima. It could flop, but as a samurai fan, I know I'm at least gonna get some enjoyment out of it because I love the samurai so much, and I love that culture.
That's all you can ask for.
So, even though it could suck, I definitely feel like with the game, I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it. And I think that's the ultimate thing that we need to look back at is you as the individual, not as the reviewers and not as the masses, but you as the individual. If you feel you have your money's worth, then more power to you.
And people, we still be in that collective mind state where one person wants to talk shit. Then you got trolls on the internet. You gotta kind of. They need to kind of have a comprehensive class for internet. Like how to gauge the internet. Yeah. That needs to be a class now. Like that's what we need to do. Instead of having this fucking type of class shit, they need to have a morality class on internet. An internet morality class. Like teach how to, do they even still do that? Where they teach you how to assess like a website to see if it's real or not? If it's, you know what I'm saying, or if it's whatever. They need to do that in high school. They need to tell people about writing comments and being negative and being nasty and all of that. They need to have all of that type of
internet etiquette and just be aware of what this.
Yeah. No, when I was doing the freelance gig for that writing for that gaming website, one of the requirements for posting my articles was to post it on Reddit. 2 of the subreddits I posted it to removed my post because it's like you're self-promoting yourself. And I'm like, I have no choice.
Yeah, that's a weird rule.
Yeah.
You can't self promote, but you're gonna have to put it on there in order for the.
Yeah. And then I even had someone comment on me saying I was a seller. I'm like, hey, look, I'm just doing my job.
They won't let you be successful, man.
Yeah.
Just a roadblock.
So thank you guys for watching our quarantine podcast. I don't know what we're calling this yet. Work in progress. But thank you guys for watching. You can check me out at WulfTheRonin on YouTube, or you can follow me on Twitter. That's going to be at Guardian Wolf. It's at Guardian, and then Wolf, WULF. But until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Game on.
Hey, and I'm Tony Stacks. The T stands for Tony, and the S stands for Stacks. Always catch me on Ingenious Visionaries. Don't forget to like, click, and subscribe to Ingenious Visionaries. We're trying to do something positive for y'all and keep this stuff rolling. Hey, see y'all on the next one.
Yeah, I've been Austin, Pred Alien Guy. Check me out on all social medias. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. Make like Tony said, make sure you like, subscribe. We definitely have some more content on the way. We're shooting films, we're getting stuff out of pre-pro for sure. We definitely get it out of pre-pro into production. We got COVID messing us up, but we're gonna come back strong. Also, make sure you guys follow me on my Instagram, tooeasy_e. Like I said, I have a lot of content coming out as far as like fitness works, music stuff. Like if you need a workout playlist, let me know. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.
All right, thanks guys.